And there goes my washing machine. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my own Utopia. I have two wonderful individuals that is joining me today. Here, I'm going opposite here. Miss Nisi and Miss Cindy. Welcome in, you two wonderful women.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
For the very first 2 to 3 minutes, I am going to have this as free for all. Everyone talk, have fun, allow individuals to go ahead and get their notifications in, and have everyone start hopefully flocking in.
Sounds good.
Sounds wonderful.
Works for me.
So, what is everyone working on? How is everyone doing? And what is the weather?
I am working on some more of the pencil curls. As you can see, these are ready to go into the oven.
What are those?
I am making these, it's wooden rods, and I have wound this yarn around the wooden rods by hand very tightly and meshed.
Here,
and then
sweetie.
I bake them, and when I bake them, they come out to be pencil curls for doll hair.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, no,
that's cool. That's really cool.
So what do you bake them at?
I bake them at 250 degrees for 45 minutes. And then you're only supposed to have to cool them down for 2 hours before unwinding them. But I'm a little OCD and I like to make sure mine are nice and tight. And so I let mine cool overnight and then I unwind them the next day. And I've got one of my hair stuck to the yarn. That's weird. So
it's trying to go for the rod. Now, yes. Is that acrylic?
This is acrylic. This method only works with acrylic, 100% acrylic yarn. So you don't want a blend, and you don't want cotton. It has to be 100% acrylic yarn. And for this project, this is going to be the hair for my giveaway tribute Cabbage Patch Kid that I'm giving away at my 1K party.
That's cool.
I'm taking
really awesome.
I'm taking an old Cabbage Patch Kid and I'm completely restoring it. It's going to get a spa treatment. I'm going to take off the head, remove all the old yarn, sanitize the in and outside of the head, and then reroute it with this yarn, and she'll have a whole new hairdo.
That's awesome.
With the purple and the blue.
Yes, and the outfit matches the yarn. And I had I designed the outfit, and I had my friend, not really my friend, but I like to call her my business partner, because anytime I'm doing a customized doll, I design the outfit, I tell her what I want, and she makes it for me because I don't use a sewing machine yet. And so she designed the autism outfit that represents me for this doll. So it's going to be a freehandly made tribute Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh, I can't wait. I am so excited.
And it is the grand prize. The retail value of this doll by the time I'm done, including my labor hours, is going to be at least $60 value.
Oh, wow. Ooh. I was wondering where the chat was, where it was at.
Oh, look.
I know, all of a sudden it filled in and I'm like, wait, what?
StreamYard must have been trying to play catch up.
Welcome in, Susan, and welcome in, Kim. Welcome in, Queen Mama. Welcome in, Melissa. Welcome in, Teresa.
Whoops.
If I'm saying that right.
Jennifer, Froggy went a meeting. I had a dream about you last night. It was really strange.
Ooh. Should I ask or should I not ask?
It wasn't a bad strange. It was just weird. It was just weird. And don't ask me. I can't really remember the details now, but yeah, she was in my dream. It was really weird. I can't really remember.
Welcome in, Miss Lissa.
I saw a frog on something and it made me laugh really hard because I thought of Froggy and I thought, oh, this is so froggy.
Oh my, Nisi.
It was so cute.
Oh, goodness.
I'm trying to say hi to everybody, but typing is slow.
Kayleena, were you on my live yesterday when I told the story about me being in Joanne Fabrics yesterday? And I was shopping for yarn because I'm making an amigurumi cow for a YouTuber person
I
I
was
know.
in some of the live, but I couldn't stay for long.
Oh, you probably did. So did you not hear that story? It's
Mm-mm.
hilarious. It's funny. Okay, so listen to what Nisi did, y'all. This is the things that I do. This is going to make Jennifer laugh as well. Okay, so just imagine, okay? You got to imagine. Put your place in Joanne's.
Oh,
There I am shopping down the aisles picking
no,
yarn, all right, for this
no.
amigurumi cow that I'm going to do. And I catch myself mooing out loud while I'm shopping for this yarn.
Oh
I
my
look
goodness.
over and there's a person staring at me. And all I could say was, I kind of giggled a little bit because I realized what I was doing. And I said, I'm making a cow. And the person turned around and laughed and left. And I just started cracking up. And I'm making this for Moonlight Gypsy for her granddaughter. And so I text Moonlight, I'm like, your friend over here is mooing in the aisles while I'm picking out yarn for your granddaughter's cow. This is what your friend does in public. And she just cracked up laughing. Yeah, I was going "Mrrr," like all different
Oh,
types of
you're doing the
moo
real
style.
cow.
I was making real cow noises while I was shopping for this yarn. I guess I was trying to be the cow in order to make the cow. I don't know. These are the
Hey,
things that I do.
it sounds like that woman really needed that good laugh.
What are you gonna do?
Yes.
You're
That's
shopping and you
hilarious.
hear some women making cow noises in the aisle. Like, what are you gonna,
Mm-hmm.
These are the things I do, people.
That is an awesome story to start this off with. Thank you.
I like that. That's hilarious.
Miss Cindy, what are you working on, sweetness?
Well, I'm working on temperature blanket squares for one.
Ooh, that's pretty.
I got, well,
Oh,
as
hey,
I about lose the chat here,
my
I
dog is, I can't move any farther over, dog. Seriously. Fur babies. Oh, wait, I can't. Can
The-
you make her a solo? I can't see. Oh, there we go. Oh,
it's
I
the
love
first
stitch
panel
on
of
that.
a swimsuit cover dress for my daughter for her birthday. It's my own design.
I love the stitching on that.
It is gorgeous.
Hi, Bailey.
Really easy. And then I'm
Lisa
also working on a
says-
beach bag for her because she's going to
Lisa-
Jamaica.
Ooh, nice. Jamaica.
Yeah.
Lisa says, I'm channeling the cow.
Probably.
I like it.
She said I was undervaluating my the value of my Cabbage Patch doll. You're probably right, but honestly, in the Cabbage Patch community, we have a saying: it's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. And yes, technically, my Cabbage Patch doll is really the true value if you put in my time and the amount of work I put into making it, much less just the cost of materials. Good $100. But rarely can you sell one for that. Rarely.
Right.
So that's why I don't usually sell them. That's why I give them away as a big, huge, like giveaway kind of, or a charity. Usually I give it away to charity to a special needs child. I've only done 2 that didn't go to a special needs child. The first one went to Froggy Win a Knitting, and then this one is going to whoever wins it. More times than not, these are made for a child, and I do not sell them because I'm not going to get what they're worth because people just don't want to pay that for whatever reason. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Are you getting a good satisfaction out of making them, though?
Absolutely, especially when I give it to a child because they're used as a therapy toy and a sensory toy to help them regulate, to re-regulate. And I definitely get a satisfaction of being able to provide a comforting tool to a child. Absolutely.
Then I say it's all worth it.
It is worth it. It's definitely, I don't do them very often because of the expense, because it comes out of my own pocket, mind you. But when I do them, I know that it's going to be well loved. And because of that, I have to make sure that I make them really good and sturdy because, special need kids, they like to, especially sensory seekers, they'll carry it around with the hair. They'll pull on the hair. They'll, so you got to make sure that it's not going to come out.
Smart. Welcome in, sweetie.
Hi, Mary Bell.
Hi, Maribel. I can see you come in.
Okay, so we just hit she just came in, I think.
Yeah.
Welcome in,
Oh,
Silver
I'm
Wings.
glad you love her, Froggy. You know, I dreamt about what she was going to look like before I made her for you.
Ooh.
I do. I dream about my projects before I make them. It's really weird.
No, the dreams I've been having recently, yeah, I'm not saying a word.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, you guys. Spring's live last night made me laugh so hard. My face still hurt this morning when I woke up
She
because I was
has the
laughing so
best
hard.
lives.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Okay,
pretty
so
funny.
we just
Hey,
hit the
Silver.
11 mark, so I want
You're
to go
right.
ahead and start hitting it up. We're hitting 10 people. Please do not forget to hit the like button and everything else like that. That is fabulous. And do not forget to hit up these two wonderful individuals as well. Go over to their channel. You'll like their supplies that they're putting out. Yeah, my brain's giving me.
Supplies, mooing noises. You never know what you're going to get.
Snoring on a live, hey.
I got the right definition, just the wrong word. Before we do start getting into anything, I do want to put down a couple of ground rules. Now, since we are talking about special needs and everything else like that, there is no strikes today. 0. So if anybody is going to be rude, disrespectful, or anything else like that, then you're going to go ahead and get knocked out. I'm sorry, but I've seen too many when it starts coming down to this direction that individuals try to be sweet and kind and try to be lenient, but it ends up basically the person starts running off with it. And I don't want that. I want this to be a safe space. 2, there's no stupid question. I don't care what you think. If you don't know the answer to it, then that means it's not a stupid question.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what the answer is, ask. Do not feel afraid to ask. This is a safe space to ask questions, to find out what's going on, even in oneself compared to your own child or children in your family. That is what I would like to have this. 3, if I'm counting correctly in my head, I would like to take a moment for us to pray, think, have them in our thoughts, the Ukraine, our own soldiers going out into battle, and everything else like that. After this 1 minute, though, I don't want to dampen the whole live with it because I know how it can go very heated and very downwards. I want this to say a safe space and a education space. So for the next minute, I have my clock up here. I would like to have silence in the chat and the silence here. And please, anyone that's going to be sitting here saying hi to everybody, just everyone hold off a minute with everything that's going on. If you don't know what's going on, go look it up. It's horrible. But let's go ahead and have a minute of silence for not only just the Ukraine, but everyone else that's going to war today. Okay, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for all the respect that you just showed. Thank you so much. Okay. My cuteness is about to be in here, so I am going to ask a question. I saw him getting out of bed. So I'm going to ask a question. Is anyone in the chat have any questions towards any type of special needs? It doesn't matter if it's autism, medical, or what. Please go ahead and ask your questions.
I'm trying to watch the chat.
I'm watching the chat. Any questions, anybody? It doesn't have to be just about children. It could be about adults as well. You can ask questions.
Hmm?
If you have any questions for me, you can ask away.
Same here. I'm an open book.
Cindy's here. You can ask questions about what she's going through and how she gets through her day.
How about this? Let's start it off with, let's just talk about what we go through. I myself, I don't know what he's looking for. I myself got diagnosed at the exact same time my middle got diagnosed with autism. So my oldest has a lot of neurological disorders, special needs disorders, brain disorders, all of that. So I have a lot of medical, plus he's autistic. My middle is ADHD and autistic. I am autistic. Probably I'm about to get checked for ADHD. And then my youngest just got diagnosed with or speculated for ADHD, and then he is autistic. I homeschool and I deal with therapies and everything else like that. Miss Nisi?
Did you know that ADHD is actually listed under the autism spectrum?
When did they do that?
It was there. It was been like that since I was diagnosed. Let's see. How old am I? Oh, that's right. I just turned 48. 5 years ago.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Also, another co-diagnosis that's underneath the autism umbrella is bipolar disorder as well.
Now that I really did not know. I had no clue about that.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Which explains why so many are misdiagnosed. So just a little bit of tidbit. I like Kayleena, I was diagnosed along with my son. My son, we knew that there was something different about our son the day he was born. We saw signs when he was an infant. And if you do your research, infants can actually be diagnosed with autism right at 6 weeks and older. Why they don't do that, I don't know. But the science is there. So my son had traits as an infant. And it took us until he was 5 to finally find someone who was willing to assess him. And he is autistic level 2, which means he's moderate. And at level 2, he has some significant developmental delays in speech. He had delays in fine motor skills and gross motor skills. And he also has delays in social development and emotional development. So that's what a level 2 is. And he's severe ADHD. And naturally, with these diagnoses, usually also comes anxiety disorder. But I have my own thoughts and theories about why that happens, which will be for another time. I already have my soapbox premiere coming out today already. So that's a different soapbox. But anyhow, moving right along. I am severe ADHD as well, and I am also autistic. I am categorized as a level 1. However, the clinician that assessed me said that I was more than likely a level 2 like my son was growing up. And miraculously, I have been able to overcome a lot of things, and through pure wanting to survive in the world, have found coping mechanisms to help me get to where I'm at. So I am diagnosed as a level 1. Level 1 is high functioning, not Asperger's. There's a difference. I'm high functioning. You have to have very specific criteria to fit into Asperger's, which I do not. And then level 3 is what they call classic autism, and that is someone with autism that have significant development delays, and they need a lot of support, emotional support, mental support, a lot of physical support, dietary support, things of that nature. It's a severe level of autism. So just so you guys know the levels, I will say us in the autistic community who are actually autistic hate the levels. We hate being described by the levels because it tends to downplay our struggles that we have just because we're higher functioning. Oh, they don't need help. They're high functioning. That's completely 100% false and not accurate. Or I have things that I definitely struggle with that have affected my life to a point where some parts of my life I can feel kind of socially paralyzed and physically paralyzed because I can't quite get over some of my issues that I have being in social settings and being able to connect with another human being. And I also have some other, not just emotional and mental issues, but I have physical issues too that come with autism that people don't realize. And that is a lot of autistics have problems with their gut. They have, a lot of them have co-diagnosis of joint disintegration and some other bone type, muscle type issues, and that tend to get worse as they get older. And for females, they get worse once they hit menopause. So that's just a little bit of education thrown in there for y'all.
Yeah, that's the reason why I never say like what the numbers we are, because
we hate them.
Yeah, it is true. It's like throughout the spectrum, all different types of problems that we have that the DSM chooses from, we can categorize from one day is 5, the next it goes, or not 5. One of them they can jump up to 3, while the others stay at a level 1, or it changes around and everything. So it's just.
It also causes stigma and stereotypes as well, which is another reason. And we hate being labeled. We're already being labeled as autistics, and we hate being labeled.
Well, I kind of like the label.
So,
because it answers a lot of questions.
Well, I mean, label as far as what level you are on the spectrum.
Yes,
is what I mean. It kind of downplays a lot of different areas of things that we struggle with, is what I mean. But no, the autism diagnosis is wonderful because, like you, it answered a lot of questions, and it freed me up to be able to accept my differences and learn who I am and why I do things I do, and that it's okay. It's okay. And it also helped me learn how to stick up for myself as well and put the mask away and stop masking and just be who I am. And if you can't stand the fact that I'm playing with my hands constantly in church, or I'm rocking back and forth in church, then just look away. You don't have to look at me. So yeah, it's given me a lot of freedom.
Yeah, same here. Big time. Oh, big time.
I'm autistic. Hear me roar.
Oh,
ooh, I like that.
Hey, that should be on some merch. That should be a merch shirt.
Ooh. I had paper and pen.
You can do a lion. You can do a lion with a rainbow mane, to represent the spectrum.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So do you see how my mind works? This is where my mind goes.
Before I forget, Miss Cindy, what about you, sweetness?
Oh, I was always sick as a child. Always sick. From usually mid-October to about mid-April, end of April, I had a cold, I had pneumonia, sinus infections. It was just constant. I'd get very little breaks between antibiotics, cough medicine. That was my major issues as a kid. I started reacting to stuff as a kid, but not a lot. And I back then, I just dealt with the fact I was sick. I was a typical kid, did the typical stuff. Things took a turn in high school. Had really severe depression in high school. And I started having these muscle episodes, and I was diagnosed. Don't ask me the name because I have no idea. It's some super long name. And the doctor said, well, we could actually do the chest, which is painful because they have to do muscle biopsy, or you can just change her diet. Either way, the diet is the key. So my mom changed my diet. I actually gained weight. I continued to have issues, endometriosis. Back then I had bowel problems even growing up. But as I got older, I wasn't coping very well with it. It's taken me to get to the point where I lost my job in 2018. Couldn't work. I couldn't even stand up straight because of my back. So after, I don't know, 6 months or so, I applied for disability. I was going into the ER on a regular basis because I would have episodes where I'm sitting on the pot with the runs, but I'm also throwing up. I'm shivering as if I'm cold, but I'm not. And I would get these pains, awful pains. I mean, I would be curled up crying. It was so bad. It took another few months before I was they gave me a diagnosis of mast cell activation syndrome. I didn't get the diagnosis of mastocytosis until about a year ago. They actually changed it. And what the difference is, all the mast cell disorders are your mast cells behaving badly. Your mast cells are part of your immune system. They react to things. They release histamine, leukotrienes, that kind of thing that defends your body. And mine goes haywire. So I react to things I'm not actually truly allergic to, but I react to anyway, and I get sick. Mm-hmm. And it's continued to get worse to now the point I'm tube fed. I run IV fluids around the clock. I have IV medications. I have regular meds that go through my gut. Crocheting and my cat were the two things that saved me. I was so depressed that I didn't want to live anymore. I was overwhelmed. This is what saved me. When we got the cat, she was my snuggle bug and brightened my day. I was knitting, but it wasn't, I don't know, knitting wasn't the same. When I decided to switch to crochet, that's when I started to really enjoy. I found something I could enjoy to do. Mm-hmm. And that's what helps me cope with all of this. If I didn't have the crochet, I probably wouldn't be sitting here.
Therapy, people don't realize how much creating with your hands is very therapeutic. Creating with yarn, whether it be knitting or crochet or looming or weaving, that's all part of the arts. Right. It is very therapeutic, physically, mentally, emotionally. It is. And I have a emotional support animal too. Briley, my black dog, is my dog. Paisley is little man's emotional support animal. And I'm telling you, animals does your soul some good. It really does. Yes. They love you unconditionally. And an animal knows when you're sad, when you're not feeling good, when you're anxious, when you're having anxiety, and they will get right up in your lap and they will just cuddle with you and warm you up. And there's something about an animal that just calms you down.
Mm-hmm. They do. They really do. I wanted a dog. I was originally going to get a dog, but with my mastocytosis, I can't be out in the heat. So if the dog needed to go out to go potty, I couldn't take him because the heat, I mean, I'll pass out just going out. So for 10 minutes. So we decided on the cat. Be easier. It's all indoor. I don't have to take her out. And that was actually a good decision. She's not as snuggly as a dog, but she knows when something's changed, when something's wrong with me. And it kind of freaks her out a little bit. So she's constantly checking on me. She comes up and gives me kisses and looks me over. And then she kind of go and sit a little ways away from me and just look at me like something's off, but I don't know what it is. And she comes
Right.
back and looks at me again, and it's like
Yeah.
more kisses and
They know. They're
snuggles
smart.
and
They know.
yeah.
They're smart. Yeah. I did a video, Cindy, on emotional support animals. Dogs obviously rated number 1. Cats are number 2. There's a lot. They actually have cats that are trained not to just be emotional support pets, but also a working pet for people with PTSD and things like that. And they actually have cats that have like you see the veterans walking around with their dogs with the little vests. They have vests for cats, and they're
Oh, I
licensed.
didn't know that.
And you can actually bring a cat on a leash in a store if you have them licensed as a
I
working.
didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Cats were number 2, and then they had some other animals down the list, but those were the two top ones. So
Did they add cats back in? Because they removed, when was this? A couple of years ago. They actually changed the service animal list and took a lot of animals off. I thought cats was one of them that they took off because cats are so independent that they said they couldn't actually function as a service animal.
When I was
So maybe they
doing
had it
my
back on.
research for the video, the website I went to still had cats listed. Not under just service animal, but they were also listed as emotional support.
Right.
As an emotional support animal. And if you have your cat or dog registered as an emotional support animal and you rent, you cannot be denied being able to rent an apartment or a house or whatever. If you have them registered, they can't deny you. If they deny you, they can get in trouble with the state. But from what the website I was on, it still had cats listed. So I don't know.
You actually do not have to have your emotional support animal licensed?
Registered, not licensed.
Well, even that, you do not have to have them registered.
That you do in Montana.
Do you? Here in Colorado, you don't.
Yeah, in Montana, you have to have them. So both, I mean, it doesn't matter because I don't have to worry about that being here, but mine are registered.
Yeah, here you just have to get a note from your doctor saying that you have this emotional support animal, and
that's awesome.
That's what they go with. So
Tank said that your cat is evaluating your symptoms when she's staring at you like that.
I know it's kind of creepy sometimes the way she'll look at me, and it's like, what's going through your mind, cat?
Probably curiosity. Why in the
baby?
world?
They're smart, man. They know. They just know. My dog knows if I'm fixing to having to have a meltdown. My dog will know. And she doesn't leave my side anyway. She's like Velcro. But when I'm having an episode, she literally will get right up here on my chest and against my neck.
See, my animals will leave me alone. As soon as I'm about to have a meltdown, they will stay away from me. They will run away and they will stay away. And that's the best thing for me is that I want to be left alone. I don't want to be touched.
Right, and they know that about you.
Yeah. When even my husband knows this, when I'm starting to have one, leave me alone. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Don't come in my general direction. Leave me alone. Wait for me to come to you.
Yeah, I'm like that with the humans in the house, but I want my dog when I'm having a meltdown.
Yeah, not me. I don't want to pet you. I don't want to give any of what is me towards you.
It's interesting how we all behave differently to sometimes the same stimuli, but we all react very differently and have different needs to process and handle that stimuli.
Yeah, because I hear way too much.
I'm normally a sensory avoider. But when I'm having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or I'm going into a meltdown and I know I can't stop it and I'm along for the ride with no control, then I become a sensory seeker because that's my way. I start stemming to try and get myself to calm down. That's the only time I'm a sensory seeker is when I'm trying to stem to try and calm down.
See,
and my dog knows that.
I stem almost anything. I stem out of anxiety, out of depression, out of fear, being oversensorized, but I do different stems for different ones. So my anxiety is my hands. or me being scared. It's my hands when I'm sitting there, when I'm talking to someone, when I'm trying to read and focus. But when I am over sensorized and I'm shutting down, I do the rocking.
Hmm.
The more I get, the more harder I rock.
I rock in public a lot, especially in church. Except for instead of going back and forth, I'm opposite. I go side to side.
Oh, I go.
I rock in my rocking chair to cope with my
I'm the
anxiety.
side to side
Rock,
person.
rock.
And in some of my videos, you'll notice that I'm rocking in my videos too, or you might see me rocking during my live without me noticing it. But it's because I'm focused and I'm concentrating on what I need to do, and um, yeah. So swaying back and forth helps me.
I've never actually seen someone do the swaying back and forth. I do it when I stand up. I'll sit there and I'll go back and forth standing up. But sitting down, I've never actually seen someone
Yeah.
go back and forth.
Yeah,
I do this back and forth.
I go side. Yeah, I go
This
side to side.
I do the swaying when I'm standing, but that's because of my back. I can't physically. It's very, very painful to stand still.
Mm.
So I have to keep moving, whether that's swaying
Mm-hmm.
or kind of pacing. Um, Sometimes it's a matter of just kind of marching in place, but kind of rocking at the same time, side to side. So mine's
Pain
more out
management.
of pain management to help
Mm-hmm.
control. So when I have to be standing up doing things, I have a way to kind of alleviate some of that pain
Yeah.
so I can accomplish what I need to.
Yeah.
I'm always next to a bar just in case my knee gives out. So, yeah, I understand. All right. So, let's
I
go ahead.
avoid stairs.
Stairs, no
Go ahead.
bars.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I said I avoid stairs so my knee
yeah.
doesn't catch. Oh, Lord. No, 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 no. No knee catching. Thanks.
Miss
I was going to say, there's some good stuff in the chat.
I am amazed at how you three ladies deal with the daily and still remains awesome. I love you, ladies. Oh, sweetness.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you, Bailey.
We love you, Bailey.
And I did say hi, but again, since we just pulled you up, welcome in, sweetie. My 32-year-old autistic diabetic son. He also is legally blind in one eye and he has a distended bowel and had night terrors until 14 years old.
Oh, bless his heart.
Oh, sweetheart.
Night terrors are horrible.
I had night terrors when I was a kid, too. I'd sit up and scream, and my parents would come up and push me back down.
Little man went through night terrors when we lived in Florida. When we moved here, though, they calmed down and went away. And I told my husband, I'm almost thinking, because he had such a hard time in school in Florida with bullies. I think a lot of it was induced by anxiety
Mm,
and not feeling safe at school.
I really don't like public schools because of that.
Well, the only reason why we have him in public school here is because it's so small and he has really thrived and flourished. Even though we're having an issue right now with one particular student, but we're not going to let this one student ruin it for him. So, I told my husband, I'm like, sometimes when you're in that situation, sometimes you have to be the voice among many. And there's a lot of autistic children. For as small as the school is, there's a lot of autistic children. I said, if I'm going to be that parent, I'll be that parent. And whatever we can get done for our son will hopefully help another special needs child in the school for another parent. I said, so, when it gets to the point where little man isn't able to deal with the public school system, then of course we'll yank him right out and I'll finish homeschooling him. But I'm trying to get him through 5th grade so because he gets to play with kids. And here's another stereotype I'm going to smash right here on your live, and that is autistic kids and autistic and adults are not social. They don't like having friends. They don't socialize. It's 100% false. You have two different types of autistic. You have those that are severe introvert like me, And then you have those like my son who want and crave human reaction so much, but they don't know how to achieve it. And they want to be in that social setting. They want to be around other human beings.
I think there's 3. So I could be wrong on this factor,
And you
but
think it's like a mixture of both?
yes, that gray variant.
I'm not the mixture of both.
I am. I want to be an introvert a lot of times, but there's times that I go through spurts where I'm just like, I want that, and I crave that attention from people. And I'm really energetic, and I'm really, really happy, and I'm really excited. And believe me, I call and I can't shut up. And I crave it, and I really enjoy and love it, but I go through small bursts.
You and my husband are exactly alike. My husband's the same way. My husband refuses to get assessed, but I'm telling you guys, my husband's autistic. And our clinician even told me, I know your husband doesn't want to be assessed, but I can tell you right now from just watching him and interacting with him, your husband's autistic, whether he wants to be assessed or not. I'm like, oh, I know. Please. You don't have to. I know.
Try this on for size. So my middle, everyone in the family said that he is identical to my husband. Identical. And this was before his medicine. And then, so because of that, and everyone's still saying that, and my husband's like, well, he does a lot of things I did when I was a kid. And I'm like, do you wonder? You wonder what you might be having here, sweetness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't include the fact that here my grandpappy was actually sitting there going, well, your middle, basically my caregiver, was identical to my grandpappy when he was a kid too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to sit there and be like, you realize that he's
It's
autistic.
genetic.
And
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Whether you've got the diagnosis or not doesn't change things.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
and my psychiatrist told me, because I was telling her, when we were in front of the clinician in Florida, and he did a separate meeting with just my husband and I, because he was still trying to finish diagnosing me. I was sitting on this side of the couch, and my husband was sitting totally on the other side of the couch. And he looked at us and he said, "Are you sure you guys are married?" And we're like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "'Cause you guys act more like friends than married." I'm like, "Well, we were best friends for 12 years before we even started dating. And we're still best friends. But yeah, we're married. I mean, obviously we married. We have our son right here, He's like, "Yeah, but married couples like sit like next to each other and hold hands." I'm like, I have to be ready for someone to be near me and touch me. So he would be next to me if I would allow him to. But yeah, we are very strongly bonded. And when he's sitting there assessing me, he was also assessing my husband without him noticing it. And he noticed a lot of things about my husband. And I was telling the psychiatrist the story, and she's like, because she's doing a side study in autism. And she's like, it has been said that autistics attract other autistics, and they often form a partnership, whether it be marriage or in a living together situation. And I said, well, that makes total sense, because more times than not, if someone's going to accept you for who you are, it's going to be another autistic individual. So to me, it was like, duh. But to her, she was like, it was this huge revelation, right? And to me, it was like, well, that's common sense.
The funny thing is when I first heard that, I started thinking, I'm like, here I was highly attracted to my husband's whole family.
Probably because you felt right at home.
Yes.
You felt normal.
Yes. There were so many things I did that my family was just like, well, that's normal. I'm like, no, it's not.
That's funny.
Is that Gina that just came in the house? Knitting Turnpike. That's Gina, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Gina.
Yep.
Welcome in, sweetie.
Hi, Gina. Hi, everybody came in.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I want to make sure she heard you say it, though. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Gina. Hi, everybody that came in.
Wow, I went really southern for that one, but yeah, thank you. Okay, I did not know that they were all under the same umbrella. So I knew that they are considering, if you're talking about the bipolar, the ADHD, and the autism. I don't mean to put quotes. It's just I'm trying not to use the one finger thing. So I know that they're talking about possibly combining the ADHD and the autistic together. So now, whenever you get diagnosed with one or you get assessed for one, you get assessed for the second one as well. And that is the ADHD and the autism. The bipolar, I know for a fact a lot of women get misdiagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenia. Was it? There's like a few others as well. Borderline
Manic
personality
depression.
disorder. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when here come to find out, all it is just that they're autistic or they're severely ADHD.
Mhm. Yeah.
I have been told I have anxiety and depression, but something isn't right. I just don't know if that is it. I need to bear routine, etc., but just UK doctors don't like to spend the money. Oh, so you're not in the US.
She's in the UK, yeah.
You know, for adults, I don't care where you live, doctors don't like to spend their money on a diagnosis that when you're older. To them, they
They
feel it's a
don't.
waste of time. You've made it this long, and
Yeah, honestly, I got lucky. I got asked to be assessed by the clinician to further understand our son, and he was intrigued by me apparently. And he wanted to study me. He wanted to study me.
That just kind of sounds creepy and awesome
It
all
does.
at the same time.
I know it does. It does. But yeah. So yeah, I got lucky. I honestly did. It was a blessing from God that it happened that way. Um, Prayer answered.
I got lucky
Unfortunately,
as well.
not everybody's fortunate. There's some
Mm.
people like Silver Wings here who can't get the assessment she needs because she's an adult now and she got missed as a child, which a lot of us females do, and the government doesn't want to pay to give you that diagnosis. The only time the doctor would be willing to assess an adult more times than not is if the impairment is so severe that it is causing them significant what do you call it
Impairment.
impairment in their daily life. Other than that, if you're functioning enough to clothe yourself, dress yourself, and
Or like
earn,
me, the doctor sees it.
yeah, see some kind of be able to support yourself, they're not interested in doing. Or you got really in America, if you got really awesome health insurance, oh yeah, they'll assess you in a heartbeat. That's money in their pocket.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
true. I was just saying no to me because I don't have awesome insurance.
yeah. So
I don't either.
now when I worked for the school district, my insurance was not awesome at all. But he was so intrigued, he wanted to assess me. So my insurance paid whatever little bit they paid, and to me it was worth me paying the rest because I wanted the answers. So there you go. If you don't have
Sometimes
the
that's what
funds
it
to
takes.
read,
Yeah.
huh?
So now about the routine situation, that can be either, from what as I can tell, autism, ADHD, OCD,
Mhm.
trauma. Trauma
Mhm.
has a big factor in
Trauma
that
is
as
huge,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, routine, it can be as simple as sitting there and saying, you need to go out the front door every single time, or you need to go out the back door every single time.
Or what
Or
you eat for breakfast every morning. Did y'all know I eat scrambled eggs and grapes every single morning? That's what I eat.
or my first meal is always some type of sandwich.
Mine's always potatoes. Oh wait, that's a safety food. Doesn't count.
But here the funny thing is for you, medically, the safety food is actually means safety, as in it's going to protect you.
Mhm.
Safety food in our general area, it basically means if all else fails, that food will at least go into your mouth, be chewed up, and go into your stomach.
Right. Yep.
It sounds disgusting,
Yeah.
but it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
Because, well, I don't want to go down that path, but basically, not until someone says something. So basically, what it is that individuals like us have a lot of sensory issues, and we refuse to eat if we cannot have what we are or me. I know this for sure. If I cannot have what I am craving, eyesight, sound, taste, texture, everything. If I cannot have exactly what I'm craving, I won't eat it. I
I
can't
won't
do it.
either. Yeah, I won't either. And there are some things that I just cannot handle eating, period.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot. Because
Yep.
I cannot. It'll make me gag. It'll make me sick. Cannot. There's some things I can't eat because of the way it smells, too. It's just, yeah. Sensory issues all over the place over here at this house.
I have some issues with food like that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like yogurt.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't like yogurt because of the texture. The texture. Same with cottage cheese. I never have been able to eat cottage cheese because I couldn't handle the texture of it.
Here, my son,
It
before he
just
got
drove me
diagnosed
crazy.
with the cheese thing, he can sit there and eat it in tubs.
I eat cottage cheese
Wow.
every day for lunch. Every day.
Wow.
Okay, I'm good.
I'm running out of cottage cheese. I get upset because I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch now because I've ran out of cottage cheese.
I am so sorry. No, I understand. I always have to have bread.
The weirdest thing. You know, it's sad. When I worked in, when I used to work, when we lived in Florida and I used to work in Florida, every morning I would go through Whataburger drive-thru. And you know it's sad when they recognize your voice through the intercom, through the speaker, and they're like, "Oh," and they tell you what you're going to order before you order it. They're like, "Is that what you're ordering today?" I'm like, "Yep, you know what I want." And they're like, "Oh, an extra ice in your water?" Yep.
See, that's a fine example of a routine. Going somewhere and they literally, you go so many times and you order the exact same thing every single time, it is considered as part of a routine. So a routine does not have to be in your home. I wanted to circle back around, but yeah, that is a perfect example for it. With me at Goodwill, they know as soon as I walk in, don't say something to me, but they know exactly where I'm going. So it's routine can change, can be altered between what you do at home, how you drive, the way you drive, where you drive, ordering things. I mean, it's a broad spectrum, and it can also be a routine inside of a routine.
It can't. I can't stand the fact when my husband drives my Yukon, I have to reset everything in the Yukon before I can put the key in the ignition. Because he's done jacked up my seat, my mirrors, everything, even my steering wheel. And I'm so aggravated because now I have to reset everything. And it takes me like a good 5 minutes to reset my Yukon so I can drive it.
Question. So when your husband does that, does he put it back exactly the same way?
No, he just leaves it.
No. I'm talking about like when he sets it for himself. Is it exactly the same way as it was before? So he has a routine of himself.
Yes, he does. He won't admit it, but he does.
I don't have to have a specific routine. Well, let me take that back. I used to not have to have a routine. I could fly by the seat of my pants. Change never bothered me. I could change from yesterday to today to the next day, completely different. But because of all the medical crap I now have, I have to have a routine or it doesn't time out right. And that makes me anxious. So I have to try and stick to a routine. Otherwise, I get anxious about it. Same with food. Food makes me incredibly anxious because I know I want the food. I love food. I crave it. But I also know it makes me sick. So it's one of those things. I allow myself a day here or a day there to have something I know I shouldn't eat. Because sometimes I can get away with eating something and not get sick because I've lowered my histamine level so low that when I do it, it doesn't raise enough to make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. Doesn't always happen,
Sometimes.
but sometimes. So, I have to have a routine now, and I get anxious if I don't have the routine, if that makes sense.
Yeah. For
And I
you,
have
the
medical
routine is
PTSD.
the routine is, your safety,
Mm. And
Yeah.
understanding of repercussions.
self-preservation,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
and knowing what would happen if you don't go by that routine. Yeah.
And that's smart. It's
Rita,
anxiety, but it's smart.
Kayleena, Rita
Right.
says, I hate it, but in 2 weeks she has to talk to the doctor about anxiety and being scared of meeting people face to face.
Oh,
I
I was
hate
trying to
meeting people
slowly
face
go
to
down,
face.
but which one?
It is at 11:25 a.m. It's just below Mary's comment saying hi to her. So it's in
Oh,
between
I
Mary
see
and
it.
in between Haley. You see it?
It's a ways down from where you're at, Kayleena.
Probably.
Yeah. I was trying to catch up on checks. We got some really good stuff being talked about in chat.
Oh, I am so sorry, you guys. I'll probably see it in just a minute. I am blind when I'm trying to read
Anxiety
quickly.
is
Ah,
right.
I think I found it.
Anxiety is hard to deal with.
It is very hard to deal with. Cause of
And
panic
once you
attacks.
get once you get
Mhm.
to, there's always, with anxiety, everybody has a certain point that they can calm and turn around. But if
Mhm.
you've crossed that threshold, I don't care
Yep.
how much of whatever it is you normally do to calm down, it doesn't work. And
Nope,
you
you're
need
along for the
some
ride.
kind of medication. Right. You're along for the ride. You need some kind of medication
Mhm.
or something to knock your little tushy out to break that.
Yep.
I have two main anxieties: time and driving.
I'm anxious about everything,
Really?
literally.
I'm
Yeah.
anxious about
But
a
I've
lot of
also suffered medical PTSD from all the years of going to doctors trying to figure out what is wrong with me
Mhm.
and it being just pushed aside. There's nothing wrong with you, blah, 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 for a
Mhm.
very long time. That I got to where I didn't want to go to a doctor. I still don't. I actually have a very excellent doctor now, and I, I, I don't like to go. I know I have to, but I don't like it. It makes me anxious just the thought of going and being told that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing going on. And you're like, I know there is. I'm not blind. I'm not dumb. And down this road long enough, there is something wrong. And sometimes I hate going. That is
I
probably
don't
one of my
like
biggest
the
anxieties.
doctors because they don't take my diagnosis of autism seriously.
My children's doctor found out that I was diagnosed, and he literally opened up the door, laughed so hard and so loud that nurses were coming out of the hallway or out of other rooms. He was doing this in the hallway
That's
and
ridiculous.
told me that if I was, so was he. My response was, "You ever got tested?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He should not be in that. He should not be in his profession.
no.
Right.
You don't talk to another human being like that. That's just so arrogant.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I don't like going to doctors.
Now, for the anxiety, what I could suggest that you do is literally write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Write down what your issue is, what each one of your issues that causes you anxiety, what happens to you, take in account, how does your hands feel? How does your skin feel? How do you feel? What's your heart rate? What's your breath intake? What is going on around you? What are you physically able to do to calm yourself, or are you able to?
Mm-hmm.
Write it all down. Because when you bring it to them and you sit there and say, okay, if nothing's wrong with me, then why is this happening? And you're not frozen in ability of unable to explain, and your brain does not wipe clean when you're trying to talk to them. It's right there in your comfort of your own home of what has happened, and it's all been written, and you can
Mm-hmm.
hand it over.
Write down all your triggers.
Mhm.
Something I learned recently is the five senses.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Yep.
5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things.
Where was that?
I gotta think now.
You're the one
Smell.
that told me this one.
Sight, hear.
Smell, taste.
I know taste is last. Taste is last. It's 1 thing you can taste. It's 2 things you can smell. 3 things you hear.
Okay.
That's what it is. 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. And it can be anything. I mean, you can feel the fabric on your chair, or you can feel sad. So, that could be anything, but focusing on those things, by the time you get down to 1, I know for me, I've calmed down a little bit, and then I'll repeat it, but I'll find 5 new things to see, like the number 4 on my clock on the wall, Pixie, sleeping funny in my basket, and I'll go through it again until I've calmed myself down if I can.
I've tried to do that, Cindy, but I'm so ADHD. I never finished going through all the 5 steps.
I need it written down so I could do check mark. Did I do that one? I'm not sure if I did that one.
Did you see what Bailey wrote about herself when she was 4 and about her husband?
I was going to try to go back up so Dragon Bee doesn't feel, or anyone else feels like I'm excluding. I took my son to all kinds of doctors, and I'm about to have to go get Keegan. I knew something was wrong before kindergarten, but we didn't get a diagnosis until he was 16.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
What I learned with Maya, doctors don't like to give a diagnosis and a label because they're young. You don't want to give them a diagnosis or label that will stick with them forever if it's not the right one. So they don't want to give it. But on the flip side of that coin, you need that to start a treatment, even if it's not exactly the right treatment. A lot of times that treatment still works and helps, even if it's not exactly the right diagnosis. You know what I mean? And then that right label.
Recording videos and on the phone. Still, sweetie, welcome for coming, sweetie, and thank you for listening and letting me run and everything. Thank you. Sorry, it's just I know now I'm running really behind, yet minds wander off in most different things. Yep. Now that can be ADHD or trauma.
I have the mind of a squirrel. Squirrel!
I just have a forgetful mind. It doesn't need to say squirrel. It just don't even remember nothing.
My 15-year-old was diagnosed at 3 with autism, and my 9-year-old transgender granddaughter is currently getting tested for autism. Oh, and it runs in the family.
It's genetic.
At least they found out. Or at least what the 9-year-old's getting tested, at least she's getting tested instead of being brushed under.
Yes.
So,
right.
Even though being diagnosed or wanting to be tested seems like a bad thing, I look at it as a really positive thing.
Females are harder to be diagnosed, especially as children, because we know how to mask and blend in, and our traits can be a little bit more subtle. Because we act and react differently than boys at the same age.
See, that's what got me down my path.
Sorry.
No, button, please.
I was just saying hi to Tank.
See, that's what got me was the fact that it put me down the path of saying basically there's different tests for females. There's different outlook. We treat females differently. We talk to females differently. We, as females and autistic, relate to the world differently. We mask.
Absolutely. We mask good. We're master chameleons.
Barely any males can mask. They just basically throw it up in the air and just like, whatever. They get fed up with it. They don't care.
Yeah, they should move on to something else.
And that's why you can always pinpoint the
I think that's because females were naturally born with the need to nurture.
Don't you dare.
Well, I don't think it's just that. It's just me thinking back, I remember the teacher sitting there coaching me. Why are you always
No.
by yourself? Why don't you go over there
See?
and go talk to that little girl? And I
Mhm.
remember distinctly going, for what? Why do I need to talk to her?
I was,
And the teacher
I'm
literally is like,
still like that.
she's upset. She's crying. Yes, I hear it. She's upset. She's crying. I'm like, okay, don't she want to be left alone?
I had a girlfriend of mine in Florida say, you need to get up during invitation time and say hi to people and make some friends. I'm like, I don't need any more friends. I have you. I don't need any more friends.
Yeah.
Why do I need more friends? I don't want any more friends. And I'm still like that because I can only concentrate on one friend at a time. Having more than one friend means I have to figure out how to split up my time, and I don't know how to split up my time.
I'm kind of like you, Niecy.
It makes me tired.
I crave friendship, but at the same time, leave me freaking alone.
Yeah.
Let me watch my movie. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Then it's like, okay, call me. Call me again. Why didn't you call me today? I'm like hot and cold with it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kayleena has seen it on occasion. Why on earth did you call me today?
I don't mind getting text messages, but I really hate talking on the phone. And my sister-in-law is so tired of me not answering the phone that she got me to install a Marco Polo app on my phone, and she'll send me some video chat. And then more times than not, she knows I'll respond to her video chat with a video chat. But I don't like talking on the phone.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I can come up with some fun.
I send Spring video chats all the time, really funny things. Like just the other night when we were coming home from Zayden's Scouts field trip and it was negative 17 degrees outside. We're sitting in the Dairy Queen getting ice cream, and I sent Spring a video chat and I said, your crazy friend needs to have her head examined because it's negative 17 degrees outside. I'm sitting at Dairy Queen getting an ice cream.
Just chill you down to the bone, but it tastes so good.
It was good. It was their mint chocolate chip shake. But she laughed.
Oh, shakes.
Oh, yummies.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep them on the phone.
I literally have a Dairy Queen, maybe 5-minute walk from my apartment. It's right here on the corner.
Trigeminal neuralgia. What is that?
Where is that? Where are you seeing it at?
She's got it up on the screen.
Can you see it, sweetheart?
Oh, trigeminal neuralgia?
What is that, Cindy? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, please.
Suzanne could probably explain it better than I can. It has to do with the nerves in the face.
Oh, okay.
Trigeminal neuralgia. It's really painful from what I understand. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've met people who've had it because of what the prep of being in the medical field and working in doctor's offices. You come across all kinds of stuff.
I'm going to be Googling that up later, right? Because I Google everything.
Yeah. I do some. So yeah, Bailey has seen it too. That I'm hot and cold with the calls and talking to people. There's days I want to be left alone. I want to watch TV. I'm not going to crochet. I don't want to talk to you. Pixie, go away and leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. If your needs require help,
she's talking about Cindy's
not
cat.
Leave you.
Yeah, she's talking about Cindy's cat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The big problem with the support animal is that there is so many places that offer registrations that you can purchase. Most of them are not real registry. Yeah, I'm stuttering. So basically, they're not real.
Yeah, you need to go with the National American. What's it called, Cindy? You know what I'm talking about.
This is the brain that has like 12,000 Swiss holes in it.
There's
like
an
Swiss
American
cheese.
one. There's an American one, a national one that's government, that's recognized by the government, and I can't think of the name of it.
It's where you register for service animals and you can register your ESA animals at the same time. Mm-hmm.
That one, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am always rocking and standing or sitting. I am in a new rocker now. Welcome in, Queen Mama.
Hi, Queen
Yes.
Mama. Oh, look,
Hi,
it's a
Queen Mama.
raccoon. Look at the raccoon in the tree. Oh, that's cute.
That's cute. I just now saw it. Now she pointed it out. I know you guys have seen me rock during lives on panels. That's something I do for my anxiety.
Mhm.
But somebody complained about my rocking, that it's very distracting. So now I swing my feet when I'm in a live
I'm too
And when
short.
because I can't walk. Rock.
When I do my lives, I try to remember to tell people you're going to see me rock, and it is what it is, and I can't control it sometimes because I can't control it sometimes. So if it bothers them, then
I agree. When it comes down to this and everything, it makes me feel much better. It regulates my feelings, my anxiety, my depression, it feels really good. With y'all talking about it, I've actually caught myself a couple times rocking. I'm like, I need to stop.
girl, you don't need to stop. You just rock your little heart away. I say stem
You'll see
on.
that with my chair. I'll be
You stem
rocking in
on,
my chair like
girlfriend.
this, and I'll go, and I'll just stop.
See, I think individuals that sees that and says that it's an issue for them, they don't understand from our point of view. So you can always take the point of sitting there and doing like what little Niecy does is, hey, fair warning, you're going to see this. If you don't like it, turn off my camera.
Yep. I put that disclaimer out a lot because I spent years masking and I don't want to mask anymore.
Thank you.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Crystal.
Oh, thanks, Crystal. You know, most people say I could never do what you do. Like, I access my own port. I take care of my own G tube and J tube. If it needs replaced, I pull it out and stick a new one in. And I hear, like, oh, I could never do that. You can if you have to.
Yeah.
When I had my ostomy surgery, they were concerned because I'm an adult. They were concerned that I wouldn't be able to handle it. And when the nurse came in, she says, okay, I'm going to show you your how to change. I said, I already know how to do it. I had a daughter that had one.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to bother me any. And she's like, really? Yeah. I mean, you do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But
Yep.
when it boils down to it, you find ways to get the strength you need to do. Just do it.
You might break down and start crying immediately afterwards, but you can do it.
You know, and something we found too, especially the medical side of things. Initially, it's scary. You struggle to do it. You feel like a failure until that one day it works. You get it. You got it right. And you start to find that inner strength because you did it once, you can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And it builds from that.
One
Yes.
other thing I've noticed a lot is people like us that has the medical needs, children or medical on our own, we become so numb. So numb. Nothing like, oh, we don't have feelings anymore, but it just becomes so normalized to us. We're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
routine.
I'm doing it.
It's routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was talking
I
to
went
Cindy
through-
about that the other day.
I was on Springs Live, not this week, but the week before. And it was getting time for me to start my nighttime routine. Well, rather than, we were laughing our little tushies off, and I didn't want to get out of the light, so I just stayed on it, walked into the bedroom, and started pulling out my meds and sitting and watching everyone's. People would ask questions. I'm an open book. I mean, I literally was drawing up meds, giving them to myself, hooking up IVs. They say beep beep goes the sheep because I was on my pushing buttons on my pumps, and then it would beep, and it was hilarious. We were having some fun with that, but I'm not afraid to show that because it might help somebody else. If they see me, they can go, hey, wait, you do that? I'm not allowed to do that. How do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it can spark a conversation to help somebody advocate for themselves to be able to do some of these things at home themselves, because it's really not that hard.
No,
You
the
know, it boils
hard
down to
part
it.
is just doing something new.
Different and
That
new.
scary point. Okay,
Right.
the wee one just got up, so here's a new one.
Oh, we have a hang on, let's see if I can get that.
We have a what?
Most people have.
You have a, I think someone might have already taken care of it, but there's one of those bot thingies in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's already been taken care of.
Okay,
I
cool.
saw that.
See, I'm far behind too. I'm trying to
I
catch
think.
up on chat. Where did she leave off
I thought
at,
it was
off at the chat? So we can
I don't know,
help
but
her.
she pulled up one of Tank, says most people have some sort of problem because our government has been testing on us for decades. Well, yeah, I believe that too.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe that.
You know, and it's worse in certain areas. You know, sometimes it's a very localized area.
Other times it's so severe that they still have numbers tattooed on their arms.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Boogie. Hold on, Boogie. Hold on, Boogie.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got to figure out where she was at.
Oh, Tank, that's sweet. She said, but in church they think you're swaying to the music or think you're touched by the spirit.
Right?
It's really awkward when I'm still swaying and it's just the pastor preaching and it's not worship music.
Right?
And I also
I'm skipping over guys.
I also wear noise canceling earplugs inside my ears in church too because it's too loud. I can't handle the volume.
I haven't been to church and
speakers put out, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but speakers have like a frequency that it puts out, and my ears are sensitive and it picks up that frequency and it physically hurts my eardrums. So I have to wear noise canceling earplugs. And what's horrible about that is I can't stand the noise canceling earplugs because I can't stand the way they feel in my ears. So by the time I get out of church, I'm exhausted because my ears hurt because they've been agitated by the noise canceling earplugs. So
I'm that way with bass. I can't do bass at all. It gives me a migraine. If a car goes by, if their bass cranked and it's shaking your car right along theirs.
Yeah.
I'm talking within a minute. I have a horrible, horrible headache. And all I want to do is close my eyes and go lay down.
All right.
Electricity going through the walls. I have
that
fun.
buzzing.
So I get right there to it, and then it gets too loud for me, and I can't deal with it. But I have fun following it. When my husband was born, a lot of those diagnoses went unknown, and apparently when he was 4 years old, had Asperger's. That seriously described the man I married.
Yeah. I'm telling you, autistics attract other autistics, and they end up getting married or end up living their lives together. We have radar. We do.
Like how women can sync their periods.
Mm-hmm. We have radar. We have intuition.
The mistake often made when diagnosing and clarifying those syndromes, they are put in the stupid category or deficient somehow, and it could be more wrong. It could not be more wrong. Sorry.
Right.
Do you want it or not? Then open your mouth.
Hi, Keegan.
He's saying there's like every time I put it up to his lips, he
gets sweet. Look at those cheekies. I love his cheekies. I'm obsessed with.
He's so cute.
People. I don't know what that's about.
Down close to the end. Nope, it jumped. McDonald's would do that to me. The girl on the one shift would see my truck and tell me what I wanted, and oh yeah.
See, Lisa? See, I'm not alone. I'm so glad I'm not alone.
Routines is important. I remember the medications then. Yeah, y'all don't want to see mine. My routine is very in-depth. Like
Yes.
I think I'm on the border of OCD.
My
I don't
mom's
think you're on the
OCD.
border. I think you're there.
Most likely.
I have sat on the phone with her enough as she's doing stuff, and she will stop and almost like she's talking to herself, but she's talking to me, and she's going through everything she needs, and she's going through it in detail. It's not just I need to do dishes, I got laundry, no. I need to do this dish, that bowl. I need to go wash these colors of clothes. That takes me. So then I have time to do this. Then I need to do that. I don't have enough time, and I'm like, and I've got to get it done. You're like, what? Wait, what? So just say I got to do dishes, I got to do laundry. And
Poor Cindy's like, I'm tired for you, honey.
right?
Oh yeah, I can
I mean,
actually do that right now. I can list off the things that I have to do immediately after I get off of here. And it's not just including housework, but it's also like self-care, dealing with the boys. I mean, I don't want to go into it, but yeah, it's severe.
yes.
I find I can't get a whole lot done with my son's home because I can't concentrate on him and what I need to get done at the same time. So when he's home, I almost feel like I'm paralyzed in a lot of ways.
You know what I keep telling my boys a lot of times is I hate it when I go long periods without being able to engulf.
What's in
Engulf. Basically, when you can do a task without being distracted, and you can just stay there for hours and hours and hours, you're engulfing into whatever your body is wanting, and I find that very enjoyable.
I had a moment like that when I was crocheting. What was I working on, you guys? What was I working on? Oh,
Well, you were doing the curls and the beanies.
I was working on little man's teddy bear for Christmas, and I crocheted almost into the next morning without even realizing it.
I miss those.
I guess that would be a definition of engulfing yourself into.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I am not allowed to have that as many times as I used to before then.
I didn't even realize that was happening. Of course, that was after the boys went to bed, so I didn't have to worry about not getting distracted. But which is probably
It's amazing how much kids change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And your routines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm actually literally now I'm at the point where I'll literally tell them, like, let me finish the routine I'm doing now. Let me finish my task. Just leave me alone. Let me do my task. I'll tell you when I'm done. I can't handle it no more. I physically and emotionally cannot handle not finishing task and jumping from one to the next and being at someone else's will. I just can't do it no more.
I naturally do that to myself without my son's help.
Yes, I do.
My daughter, even at a young age, had a thirst for learning, and the questions were non-stop. I got to the point, I don't know, go ask your grandma. I don't know, go ask your dad.
Google it. That's what I do. Google it.
I've actually taught my middle
we didn't really have Google much back then. So
no, we had encyclopedias.
Yes. To this day, she still has a thirst for learning. She devours books. She has one wall, floor to ceiling bookshelves packed full of books. And she does an international call at least once a week from all over the world. Everybody speaks, for the most part, in their own language or in English. So she's been learning all these languages, and she's loving it. And it's always been that way since she was
Bye, Bailey.
little.
Have a good day.
Are you leaving us, Bailey?
She's got some stuff she needs to get done.
Oh, well, thank you for coming, though. You've been here for
Bye,
a good minute.
Yeah.
Crafting and knitting and crocheting was my drug of choice. Oh.
Yes. When I say my boys, well, I kind of consider my husband a child in a lot of ways, but no, it's my son and my husband. That's what I mean, my boys. Although my husband is a 48-year-old man with a little boy trapped inside of him. But yes, my boys are my husband and our son.
Can you give me a minute and I'll sit you down?
Oh, I love his little
Thank you.
chipmunk voice. It's so cute.
Doctors just call me hyperactive as a child, but wouldn't say ADHD. And as an adult, I am pretty sure I am high functioning autistic. Have took a RAADSR
Roads,
and scored.
rads.
Oh,
It's rads. Rads are
my
it's a form of
dyslexia is
testing.
looking at me going, no, it's not.
It's kind of like radar, but it's rads. The A's in the wrong
Okay.
part. It's rads are.
And scored 140.
That's
See,
your isn't that the IQ test?
Oh no, I was tested using ADOS for adults, so
Mhm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
And I was tested using something else too, but I can't remember the name of the test. I had several tests, but that wasn't one of them.
Child food was something I love. My weight was a protective wall, and yet I kept being bullied by my. Yeah, I can see that sweetness. My heart goes out to you.
My son was bullied.
I like having my friends here.
Mom, that's why.
I know, my beautiful child. Okay, I think.
Thank you, Divergent. I'm not alone. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
You want me
Okay,
to
we'll
catch
keep going with the chat.
All right,
Yes,
where'd
can
she
y'all
leave
like
off?
catch me up, please, while I
Yeah, we'll
sit
catch
him
you up.
down?
She's at Divergent at 11:41.
Okay.
Says Rita.
She's almost caught up then, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
And if y'all wonder why I
Chris
keep
says,
touching my face, it's because I itch.
Rita, me too, but partly so when I am full and need a moment, I can sit my phone down. Let's see. Suzanne says, yes, they also call it the suicide illness. Tank says, we have one Dairy Queen in our town and they are always out of what I want. Well, that is
That's awful.
horrible. That would drive me crazy, Tank. Gina says, Cindy, I can relate. I am a serious introvert and need time to think a lot. I wish I didn't have to retreat when overwhelmed, but it helps me think and sort things out. I'm the same way too, Gina. I need to be able to process my world around me and what was said and how I'm feeling and figure out if I do need to share how I'm feeling, figure out how to do that.
Richard's always trying to get me out and out of the house.
I can't stand it.
And the only thing I want to do, the only thing I want to go out and do, go buy yarn. I will get out of the house and go yarn shopping.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll do some other shopping, but most time, because I can only handle physically about an hour. And even before that, the pain's getting pretty bad. So, but I want to go buy yarn. And other than that, I really don't have a strong desire to go anywhere. And part of that has to do with all this medical stuff. To the point, it's just too much of a hassle to go. And so, but he talks me into it once in a while. He can talk me into it to go.
No, he can't talk me into going out if he's going to feed me a steak.
Gotta have the treats, like you do a cat. Come on,
that's right.
Here, I'll give you one if you come on.
You can bribe me with a steak, and I'll go anywhere if you bribe me with a steak. Bailey and Crystal are hugging on each other. Crystal's cool stuff. No worries, Tank. I agree about the testing. Suzanne said the bass in music hurts my head so bad. So yeah, she's like you.
Hurts her back.
Yeah. That's Bailey saying goodbye to us, which I jumped in and told y'all. Lisa says, well, I already answered that too. You said, boys, do you have more than one child? My boys are my husband and my son. And then Chris said, when my kids were little, I couldn't clean unless hubby took kids out for baby's day out. I felt as though I couldn't do both. See, That's exactly how I feel. Queen
I
says
was when
with dishes, I have to count them in categories as I wash them, and again when rinsing. And then Divergent says, I fibbed, not a 140, but a 100. And we're caught up with the chat.
right
Ooh,
when
go
my
ahead.
kids were little, I was so overwhelmed and depressed because at that point I had already gone through my first divorce. My mom literally would have to come over and help me clean the house because I couldn't do it. That's how mentally out of it and depressed I was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweetheart.
By the
Okay,
time my kids were in high school, I started cleaning. I
we
kind of
caught up
worked through
on
it.
chat, Kayleena.
We did.
Yay! And Miss Nisi, your thing just announced saying that you're about to go live.
In
So
30
I don't want
minutes.
to, yes, ma'am. So I don't want to keep you here any longer than is necessary. Or, I mean, I could definitely keep you here forever. You're awesome. So are you, Cindy.
Oh, thanks.
I love hanging out with y'all.
But I want to go ahead
Feelings
and start
mutual.
wrapping things up. I just gave my middle his meds, but this was awesome.
This was an awesome live. Thank you
It
for
was.
hosting this.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you guys for coming, everyone over in the chat. I keep looking over because I'm literally looking at the chat. So thank you, everybody, for all the likes and coming and talking and keeping everything so polite.
Right?
I
Yeah.
wanted to say that definitely.
They were really good.
All the support that you gave to each and everybody, all the love that everyone gave, and understanding that no question is stupid. Actually asking the questions, explaining and talking and everything else like that. So not only are y'all nervous about the fact of putting up your own feelings and your own experience, believe me, I'm sitting here going, oh my God. I know I am. I can speak for myself. I am nervous still here almost an hour and 30 minutes going in. I don't know about you two wonderful women.
That's why
I'm surprisingly okay.
Messing with yarn.
So
I'm actually okay at the moment. So
that's good.
But I would like to put out there, if anybody wants to talk one-on-one about something, email me and let me know, and I can pull up a video chat with them. I don't have a problem with that. If you have questions, email me. It's on my about page, my email.
Yes.
So.
And same thing for me. You can hit me up on my Facebook group. I'm going to be doing this once a month. So
I was just going to ask if you're going to do this weekly or once a month.
Once a month.
You read my mind.
Yes, I did. You're so far away, and yet I was still able to go over there and go pluck. It was awesome.
Love it.
But I think in a month's time, that gives individuals an opportunity to start coming back and asking questions and know what else that they're wanting to talk about and everything. And it gives me more of an idea of how to structure all of this. So if y'all have any questions or anything just over the next month that's coming up and you're wanting to talk about it or anything else like that, please flood me with questions. Literally. But I'm going to, hopefully next month, I will have these two wonderful women. If not, then I know I'll have the wonderful support of you guys to be able to understand when I have to haul Tushy to go deal with one of my boys.
Absolutely. We're here for you, boo.
Yeah, we are. Hey, Kayleena.
Yes,
I want to
ma'am.
read what Divergent just wrote. She puts, I am newly to understanding. I am different, not broken.
That's right.
Like that.
That's why I always say, dare to be you, dare to be different.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I love you.
Bye.
I love you too.
Thank you for joining, sweetheart. I'll see
There's
you
my
over
hook.
live.
All right. Bye, babe.
Bye, Nisi.
And she just goes poof.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
I actually like that. Cutie. So again, like I said, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. I will talk to all of you wonderful individuals later. And again, hit me up on my Facebook group or just ask me questions on my email. Cindy says that she is here for you guys. She's willing to help you if you're wanting to talk one-on-one, if you're having any type of issue. If you think you can say it better than I am, because I feel like I'm stuttering over my words at the particular moment, then please take over.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Yeah.
Then,
Anytime, email me and I'll respond.
and her channel is Life in Yarn Tangled.
I haven't put out a lot of videos here lately, and that's part of my mentality at the moment. So
You're still fabulous, woman.
thank you. I'm
And
gonna be putting some
everyone
out. I've got some ideas now. So
And everyone in the chat, y'all are fabulous. No matter what anyone says, no matter how strange or weird we are fabulous. And on that note, I like to say goodbye.
bye, everybody. Take
Bye,
care.
goodbye.